I know everybody watching is not a Christian or not a believer of any kind, and that's cool. That's what we're talking about here is the opportunities to do you, and then I'll do me, and we do us together. But when did you become Vince? Like, what was there something that changed your life to make you become a Christian? Were you always? Did you grow up in the church?
No,
And
bro, you're gonna appreciate this because
okay, good.
Brian, listen, I grew up a Catholic. And
Okay.
bro, I was the kind of Catholic where, I had to go to church every Sunday with my parents.
Yep.
But I'll be honest with you, bro, from the Catholic Church, it was always the older pastor. Bro, the guy just spoke over my head.
Yeah. Yep.
He never spoke to me. So, every Sunday for an hour, I'm being dragged to this boring, church. And,
yeah. To you were a kid, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
and it never grabbed me. And it's funny, Brian, because you'll understand this better than anybody. My entire life, I always believed in God. I
Yeah.
always believed he was there. I always believed he was right here. I always believed he had my shoulder. I always believed he was protecting me. However, he was in no way, shape, or form the focus of my life. He was not number one in my life. I had no
Amen.
time for him.
Yeah.
Brian, you're gonna love this. This is the God honest story. God honest story. When we were in TNA, I was living in Atlanta. We used to drive to the fairgrounds, Tennessee fairgrounds. All of us used to hop in the car and drive to the fairgrounds. And at the same time, I had a business. I had a CD warehouse in Atlanta. And I'll never forget, bro.
Was it a CD warehouse or a CD warehouse?
It was both.
I'm with
It
you.
was both. You want to know the truth? It was
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
It was both. I had a CD warehouse. And Brian, I'll never forget. It was one night. It had to be about 8:00 at night. I was on the phone with Dixie Carter. Okay. And I'll never forget this, bro. Jeff Jarrett, our beloved Double J. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but I was cutting the promo of all promos on Double J. Okay. He did something or said something that really, really pissed me off. Now you got to understand, he was my brother at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't enemies. We were close and tight, but she said something, bro, and for all I know, she could have been stirring the you-know-what.
Yeah.
But it lit me up with such a vigor of hatred.
Yeah. Rage.
Rage. Brian,
Yeah.
I swear, I was in the store by myself. There was not a customer in the store. I was in the back office. Bro, I verbally heard. I heard somebody say, "Look at what you've become. Your heart is black as coal.
Wow.
This was never what I created you to be." Brian, you could say I'm crazy. I audibly heard the words. Brian, I was about 42. I was about, this is going back maybe 2006-ish, somewhere about then. I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
Bro, that was it. I mean, my entire life, my thought process, my priorities, what mattered, what didn't matter, bro, on a dime like that.
Wow. And see, that's the Apostle Paul story. You know what I mean? It's so apropos. I so wish that would have happened to me, that when I got saved and baptized, I would have come up clean and whole and sober, and it just didn't happen that way for me. Look, I'm here. He got me to where I needed to be. I needed to take some steps for myself, and once I was willing to do that, and funny you bring it up, I was 42 when I decided I need to stop living the way I'm living, because I'm not the dude. You said it, how God made you, and I should have said it that way first, but in my mind, I thought, I'm not the dude my mom and dad raised me to be. I'm not that person, and I don't want to be who I've turned into anymore. And not until then was I ready to look at, am I white as a dove now? Heck no. You know what I mean? I'm a human being, but God is a focus on my life now. I'm a firm believer now, because I'm with you on that story. It was so fitting for me, because I believed the whole time, but I never lived like he really existed.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Exactly.
didn't just live
Yep.
that way. And
Yep.
today I literally live in a way that at the end of the day, I judge my day and go, what did I do that was displeasing to God?
Yeah.
That when I got there, he would
Yep.
go like, really? That's what you're doing
Oh
at
yeah,
53?
he doesn't like. I say that, bro. I say this every day. Well, first of all, Brian, of course, I'm 62 now, so we're talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I do a show every single week, bro, called That's Life, and it's a Christian show. This is
Yeah.
what we talk about. But of course, according to some, bro, I've been working the Christian thing for 20 years.
For 20 years now. Yeah.
But
You and
Brian,
Shawn
The
Michaels.
long game.
Here's the long time. Here's the one thing, Brian, what drives me crazy. This absolutely drives me crazy, bro. Just last week, I had your friend and mine, Sean Sapp,
Oh yeah.
basically say to me what a fake Christian I was.
Mm.
And I'm like, do you guys have any idea what the definition of Christian is? Do you know what that means? As Christians, we are saying we are sinners.
Yeah.
We are falling short. We need God in our lives. Do you not understand that? I love the people, Brian, that believe, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, you're perfect now.
Yeah.
Sin,
Well,
you
look,
don't cuss, you don't lose your temper.
Yeah.
Come
None of
on,
that's
bro.
true. I do believe that some of that is our fault, and I say our as in the Christian and the church and all that. I
agree.
think some of that has been. You see people that preach the gospel of prosperity or whatever, and it's the holier than thou. And when Creflo Dollar says, "I need you to send me money because God said I need a jet airplane," like that's where I draw the line. And so I think people, because of that, and have gotten cynical to the church. I mean, think about it. It's our country now is so much more secular than it is a religious country. It's just not that way anymore.
Yeah,
and,
you're right. Yep.
And that, look, that's, you can think about that what you want to, but that's just where we're at. But look, to me, that's I pray, I believe in God, I post about God. That's just my life. I don't feel like I'm pushing it on anybody. I don't feel like I'm, I just feel like I'm living my life. And if you want to talk about it, I'm here, and we can go. But I just don't see the negative part of it. You know what I mean? Other than the stoning the woman in one of those, I think there's some bad stuff there. Maybe we need to probably relook at that.
Vince, let me ask you this, because I'm fascinated like Dogg is. I grew up. I mean, as soon as I can remember, my mom was in the church, and so I didn't ever have the moment. It was, you got 11, and we're going to get baptized in front of the congregation and move on. I'm fascinated with this moment. Was it you sat there on the floor for a second and try to figure things out, or are you throwing the CDs because you got to get it out of your system? Is it a crying? What happened after you heard that, though?
I'm going to tell you, Casio, I will tell you a more unbelievable story than that. Okay? And Brian, my right hand to God. TNA, Brian.
Yeah.
Listen, man, when we all started it together, it was a great place to work.
Yeah.
And especially working for Jeff. Like we all loved Jeff. This was his baby. I don't know if you know this or not, Brian, but at the time when I started working at TNA, I was consulting for the WWE for more money. And I was reporting to Stephanie, and I said to Stephanie, listen, it was the second TNA show. I said, I want you to know this because I don't want you reading it on the internet or anywhere else. I am going to check out their show. Jeff has talked about perhaps me working there. I'm going to go check out the show. And I just want you to know up front, while I was consulting, I went to TNA, my first show. I called her back and I said, Stephanie, thank you very much, but I'm going to go be working for TNA.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, bro, it really was family. Like,
it was a personal project, right?
It was a personal project. But Brian, we all know, and I said this about AEW when Tony Khan was saying all the things at the beginning. I was like, Tony, it always turns into the wrestling business, bro. It somehow, some way, it always turns into the wrestling business. That's the way it is, right?
Yeah. It's the
So,
nature of the
Brian,
beast.
yeah, Brian, it's, TNA turned into the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was at a point of being absolutely miserable. Okay. My biggest concern was, I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know God doesn't want me here. Brian, again, not having the faith that God knows what I need and he's going to provide for me and my family.
Yeah.
I was torturing myself with the question, how are you going to support your family? How are you going to support
It always goes to money, doesn't it?
Brian,
Yeah.
I was in the hotel room there, the DoubleTree,
DoubleTree. Yeah.
on my knees, praying so hard that I was in tears, saying, God, I hear you loud and clear. I'm not supposed to be here. How am I supposed to support my family? So, Brian, this is a true story, guys. Yeah. And Casio, my right hand to God, bro. My right hand to God. Brian, I go to work that day. Bro, this is the Hogan Bischoff era.
Oh, yes.
I can't, bro. I'm about to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Brian, I go in the room where we used to have a production meeting.
Yeah.
I lock the door behind me. This is in the middle of the day, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I got my Bible out of my bag because I needed to reset myself.
Yeah. Channel this towards something.
Yeah. Casio, right hand to God. Now, if you guys know me, I do not ever have money in my pocket. Ever. Since the wrestling business, I use my credit card. I never have cash. Brian, I got to be honest with you. Like it screws me up now because living in Colorado, I need that stuff to help me sleep. What is the TCB?
TCB, the Elvis.
And they only take cash. So I can never get it because I never have any money. But I never have any money in my pocket. So
you're a mile high anyway.
Yeah, I'm praying. I'm saying, God, please, how am I? I know I hear you. How am I supposed to support my family? Right hand to God, bro. I reach in my pocket to get a piece of gum. You know the packs that fold over like
yeah.
Brian, I open it up. 2 $50 bills neatly folded like they just came off the mint fell out of the pack of gum. While I'm praying, how am I going to support my family?
Yeah.
Brian, it was so clear to me at that point that if I did not leave TNA, I might as well have just spit in his face.
Yeah.
That left me
no choice. Yeah.
And bro, the next day I gave my notice. That was it. I mean, he showed me, bro.
I will.
Exactly.
I will. Where you don't see a way, I will make a way.
That's it. And Brian, listen, guys, honestly, 2012, I've been out of wrestling now working for a major promotion for 11 years. And here I am, bro.
Yeah.
But that absolutely happened. I even called my wife. Hey, did you put any money in my gum? Did you put any money?
Did you put money in my gum?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, what are you talking about, bro?
Hey,
true story, man.
Hey, my wife would have dang sure not taken or putting money in anywhere of mine. She would have taken it out of there. But that's a true story, and that's man, that's impactful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
But even then, a knucklehead like me, and look, you weren't an addict or an alcoholic, and a knucklehead like me, it just, I don't know. I just needed to, before I could clear my head, and I had to get sober before I could clear my head enough to find out, oh, he will provide for me. You know what I mean? Whatever, I'll just have to put my right foot forward. You know what I mean? And here we go, and the right things will happen. And so, look, we're going to have to put a trigger warning on this thing because I felt like a revival was about to break out.